In this last video of the first unit, I'm going to teach you a couple different things as far as learning objectives. Again, I'm going to teach you how to create a new document, how to transform the canvas, how to crop an image, and then specifically how to crop an image to a specific size. So again, when you're creating a new document, you first of all need to set up some functionality as far as how you want the document to appear. So the first thing you need to do is click on the Edit function, and then you're going to basically you want to make sure that all your presets are defined appropriately. So if you drop down to the Adobe PDF presets, you can click in that particular window, and these are related to all PDF files. Again, when you save a document as a PDF file, these are specifics that you can save as far as that functionality. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Done button there, and again, go back to go back to your Edit screen. And you want to mouse over the small arrow at the very bottom to make sure you can see everything in your particular functionality. So again, you want to click on your menus. That will open up a rather large dialog box. Again, this shows you keyboard shortcuts. And again, specifically in Photoshop, you can look at the keyboard shortcuts for specific functions. But again, you always want to make sure your menus are set up the way they need to be. Again, you can go to your menus area here. And again, you want to set up your Photoshop defaults. Here's your application menus, as well as you can show your panel menus. So again, these are basically the default areas that you can set up in relation to that. So again, I'm going to go ahead and click OK there. And again, you just want to always make sure that everything is set up the way you need it to be. So we're going to go ahead and select File, and we're going to select New. Again, this is going to open up the default dialog box for opening up a new file. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and name the file Sample here, New. And again, we're just basically, this is where you actually title what you want the document to be. Again, you have several predefined sizes that you can use. And again, we're going to select the default Photoshop size here. Here is where you specify what you want the document to be measured in. Do you want it to be measured in inches, in pixels, in centimeters, millimeters, points, picots, or columns? Typically in this particular class, we're always going to be measuring in inches because that's basically the defined measurement that everybody understands very easily. Again, you put in the size here for width, you put in the size here for height, and again, typically when you have inches specified for width, you're always going to have inches specified for height. The next box is your resolution box, and again, we're going to go ahead and use a resolution of 72 pixels per inch for this particular file. And again, your color mode, you have a variety. You have bitmap, you have grayscale, which again would have no color. You have RGB, and again that means your red, green, blue values. And typically an RGB color mode is when you're using something on the web, again something that's not printed. CMYK color is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Typically CMYK color mode is used when you're using the document to be a printed document. Again, CMYK color, for example, is used typically in the InDesign Photoshop or the InDesign software. So again, in our particular case, we're going to basically set this as an RGB mode. And again, the background contents, that means the background color of your image will again be white. So again, as I click OK, it opens up a new file, and again, there is the actual image that I selected. So again, if I go to the actual image menu object, when I mouse over mode, there is the screen that tells you what mode you are in. And again, if I decided maybe I changed my mind, I didn't want it to be RGB mode, I wanted it to be CMYK color mode, I could actually make that change here. So again, it actually converts that. So again, you're going from RGB mode to CMYK color mode. So again, you can go back to the image. Again, there's several adjustments that you can be making, but again, we won't get to those until further chapters. You can also go into your canvas size, and again, you can make changes to the size of your document there as well. So again, once you've actually predefined your document, you can actually make changes to that as you see fit. I'm going to go ahead and actually close out of that sample file that we just created. And again, I've opened up several files from the actual unit files. And again, I've got those. You can notice that across the top of my screen, I've got a tab-based system. And again, these are the 4 files that I'm going to show you how to do the additional functions. Again, transforming the canvas. Again, I'm working with this parrot file. And I'm going to go ahead and do a save as. And again, I'm just going to call this parrots. And save it to my desktop. And click Save. Again, We're going to be transforming the canvas, and what that basically means is we want to basically make a transformation in the way this canvas looks. So again, to do that, you click on your image menu option. Again, you get all these options here. You're going to mouse down to image rotation, and you're going to select 90 degrees clockwise. The 90 degrees CCW is counterclockwise, so again, we want to choose the 90 degrees clockwise option. Notice your image is now basically rotated 90 degrees. The next function that I want to teach is how to transform the canvas. And what I'm referring to as far as transforming the canvas is I want to keep that image, but I want to make the canvas size, which again, if you think about a piece of artwork, it's painted onto a canvas. I want to add some white space onto my canvas so I can actually bring another image on and add to that. So I need to make my canvas background bigger. So again, to do that, you're going to go ahead and go back to your image. You're going to mouse left click on canvas size. And again, what we want to do is we want to change the width and the height of it. So we're going to go ahead and change the width to 6, and we're going to change the height to 8. Now here is where you're specifying where you want your original image to appear on the portion of the canvas that you're adding basically. I'm going to click the lower left arrow. What this is indicative of is when it adds canvas, this parrot image is going to be appearing in the lower left portion of the overall canvas size. So again, you're clicking there, and again, the canvas extension color, we want to make sure it says white. Again, if we choose black, when it adds canvas, that would all be in black. If we chose gray, again, it would appear in gray. I want to add it as a white canvas background. I click OK, and now notice that that canvas size has now increased based on the size that we provided, and it moved that parrot image down again to the lower bottom left of the image as we specified. So again, I'm going to just kind of zoom out a little bit so you can see basically what I'm talking about there. Now what we want to basically do is we're going to add another image into this existing image. So again, we've got all the changes that we needed made. Again, we just want to add on another image into that. So again, what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up the A5 file, and again, I've already got that opened, okay? So again, you're going to need to open that from wherever you have those images saved, whether it's to your desktop or to a USB. So again, you want to open up that A5 image. Again, it's just this small bird. Again, you want to go to your select menu object. You're going to click all. You basically want the entire image selected. We're going to go to our edit menu function, and we're going to copy that. Again, all we're doing is we're copying that image to our clipboard, just like you do in a Microsoft Word document. You're going to go ahead and close out of that file now because you've copied that to the clipboard. It takes you back to that original image where we add the canvas. You're going to go to your edit menu option, and again, you're just going to click paste. So again, it brings that bird in, and notice that it adds a new layer in your layers palette, which is over here on the right, and it's called layer 1. So again, I'm going to go ahead and select my move tool, which again is right here, and I'm just going to move that image up and to the right somewhat. Again, go ahead and Control S to save your work. And again, you've basically just added that small parrot image in there. That is that complete portion of the learning objective. We're now going to work with cropping an image. And again, basically cropping an image is a basic task in which you define an area of an image that you want to keep and then discard the remainder of the image. So again, you're going to be working with the A6 file. And again, it's this picture of this, looks like an Italian street. So again, we want to go to our window menu objects, and you want to make sure that your info palette is showing. Again, this is your info palette here. The info palette shows you your RGB values based on wherever you point within an image. It shows you your CMYK values as well. It shows you your X and Y coordinates, and it shows you the width and height. So again, it's just general information about the file that you're working with. We're going to go ahead and select our crop tool. Again, I'm pointing at the crop tool right now. So you're just going to go ahead and left click it to basically show your crop tool. Again, notice up in your context sensitive menu, this is all information related to the crop tool now. So again, all we're going to do is we're going to drag the crop pointer, and we're just going to basically left click right in the top portion of the image to the right of that building on the left side of your image. We're going to just left click and drag down, and notice it's showing my info related to my width and my height as I'm dragging, and it shows me the actual size. I'm going to basically release my left or my mouse button when I get right over to the building on the other side of the street. Notice now I have this kind of grid information. What is in the kind of the toned down area is what's going to be cropped out here on the left. Let me move my info palette here. And there on the right. So again, this is going to be eliminated as soon as we actually hit our enter key. So again, when you hit your return key, that portion of the image is now deleted. You can also do what's called cropping to an image to a specific size. And again, I'm going to just go ahead and go over to the image that I'm going to show you in that particular perspective. Again, this is just a postcard of a female standing in basically a door frame. So again, we have our crop tool still selected. What you want to do is you want to specify a specific type or specific size. So you're going to type in this area here 2.25, hit your tab key, and then you're going to go ahead and basically type in 4 in the height text box. And you're going to get that image window. It's going to be graying out the area that's going to be eliminated from the crop. Again, when you hit enter or return, it crops to that specific size. Now, the other thing I want to show you now is if you actually would open up an additional image, when you go back to your crop tool, until you delete those sizes out of there, you will never be able to drag a different size crop. So again, pay attention to the fact that if you've got values in your context sensitive menu, again, those values are going to be staying in there until you get rid of those, and you could not basically draw a crop of a specific size that you wanted. It would be by default go back to that original size that you had in those values. So when you're done with that, always make sure you delete those values out of there. That concludes this portion of the learning objectives. You're going to want to complete the independent challenges 1 and 2 for your homework and submit those through the Dropbox.